Consider that the joining of an egg and sperm to create your first cell provided your completed genetic code that your body would use for all your life. Within that initial cell, half your chromosomes containing your DNA came from your father and half came from your mother. Here's another fun fact about it. A new DNA strand is made in your body 96 million times an hour. And about 96 million die an hour. Okay? It might be a day. So let's say it's a lot. Look that up. It's a lot. All right. All right, summary. DNA is simply a set of digital information stored in each cell in the human body and supplies this code for all the functions of the body, including the brain. It instructs how to form every protein molecule, the physical shape of the molecule, where in the body that protein goes, and its specific function. This is true not only after birth, but also digital information instructs how a human goes from conception to the fully formed baby. So DNA does all that work. In other words, you say it does the work, but that's a little kind of conflict of words. It doesn't do the work. The proteins do the work. The DNA tells the other proteins how to make proteins. When there's 100,000 different proteins, it tells them where to send it. Now, to me, that boggles my mind. That is not something I can conceive of happening by chance. That's why I have it. So I have more I get into this, the more I'm convinced. It just can't be true. And believe me, many scientists who used to believe in evolution are now saying the human cell and DNA does not prove evolution, it proves the opposite. So that's for you to find out. I know you say, no, that's not true. Okay, that's all right. Let's talk about it. All right, facts about DNA. About 3.5 million base pairs in each human DNA strand. Remember I told you that 2 nucleotides together is a base pair. So 3.5 billion. Each strand of human DNA stretched out is over 6 feet long. That blew my mind. Now you get 100 trillion cells, and almost all those cells have DNA strand in the nucleus. You pull it out and stretch it out, it's 6 feet long. There's a strand of DNA in almost all of the 100 trillion cells in your body. If you stretched each strand of DNA from your body, it would go from the Earth to the Sun and back over 500 times. All right. 1 drop of DNA, small enough to fit on your little finger, tip of your little finger, stores more DNA than over 360 pounds of hard drives. Okay? It's a computer storage device, but it's in biological form, not in zeros and ones. Tell you how small a DNA strand is. If you took 25,000 together flat and you measured that distance, it'd be the same distance as human hair. Okay. What is not true about DNA? Only a small portion of DNA base pairs have the function. This is what has been stated. Since the discovery of DNA, evolutionary biologists first claimed that only 2% of the base pairs did all the work, and the other 98% was junk DNA, left over from evolutionary mutations. So they said that 2% of that DNA actually does something, and that's true. 2 to 3% codes the proteins. Okay. They first said all the rest of them are junk DNA. Now the truth is that you will not find an evolutionary biologist make that claim because they know it's not true. The concept of junk DNA is leading scientific thought as more discoveries show that these portions of base pairs have necessary functions. And I think when we find out, we'll find out that all of them do. They haven't figured it out all of them yet, but they're down to about 20%. What is not true about DNA? Evolution theory teaches that the complexity of the human genome has come about by random chance. The truth, the complexity, now this may be a little bit truth and opinion, okay? I know you said it. The complexity of the information in the human DNA code is more complex than any software ever written by human programmers. The odds that this could happen by chance, no matter how much time allowed, are so astronomical as to be absurd. They tried to figure the statistics of it. It just gets into numbers like 10 to the 123rd power. It says it couldn't have happened. So, all right. I think the next ones are some statements that are made by people you probably will recognize. Two of them being evolutionists, and the third one, I don't know what he is. He's a very brilliant man, I don't know what it is. All right. Richard Dawkins says in River Out of Eden, page 17, by the way, apart from the differences in jargon, the pages of a molecular biology journal might be interchanged with those of a computer engineering journal. He has said many times that biology is a study of things that look like they've been designed. That's Richard Dawkins. Everybody knows who Richard Dawkins is, right? Okay. He's one of the new atheists, I'd say. He's an evangelical atheist, which means he wants everybody to be an evangelical atheist. Francis Crick, who was one of the founders or discoverers of DNA and how it was structured. Biologists must constantly keep in mind that what they see is not designed, but rather evolved. Okay, he does not believe it was designed, but he says it sure looks like it. And this one, everybody will know this guy. DNA is like a computer program, but far, far more advanced than any software ever created. Bill Gates, in his book, The Road Ahead. Bill Gates was brilliant in computer science, obviously. He founded Microsoft. The latest I said was worth about 75 billion, excuse me. Can you imagine being worth 75 billion? What would you do with your hide in a cave or something? I don't know. I'd be afraid to walk out my door. What does it tell us? Conclusion. My conclusion, I will say. The complexity of DNA and how it works demonstrates that the processes of life are intelligent design and could not have possibly happened by random chance. And that's the end of the presentation.